Today let's dive into that deep and fascinating blue ocean together to explore a super ancient and mysterious creature, the jellyfish. As early as billions of years ago, when the oceans on our planet were like a newly opened large experimental field and various creatures were groping for their ways of survival, jellyfish had already made their quiet debut. They are one of the oldest creatures on Earth, appearing even earlier than dinosaurs and can be traced back to 650 million years ago. Truly ancient inhabitants. They belong to the phylum Cnidaria. So what is a cnidarian? Simply put, it has small things called cnidocytes on its body surface. These are really amazing, serving as both the powerful assistants for jellyfish to catch prey and their defense against enemies, just like a set of offensive and defensive weapon systems that jellyfish come with. Look how peculiar the jellyfish look. They are like transparent umbrellas floating and swaying in the sea. Some jellyfish are astonishingly large. The diameter of their umbrella-shaped bodies can reach 2 meters, and long tentacles dangle from the edges. The longest tentacles can extend to 20 to 30 meters when stretched out. Don't underestimate their seemingly delicate bodies. Jellyfish are members of invertebrates. More than 95% of their bodies is water, and they don't have common parts like a heart, blood, bones, gills, eyes, and a mouth. However, at the notch on the edge of their umbrellas, there are some ocelli that can sense the intensity of light. Relying on these, jellyfish can have a general understanding of their surroundings. Looking more closely, a jellyfish's body has a 3-layer structure. The innermost gastrodermis is like a processing factory, specifically responsible for digestion. Inside, the gastrovascular cavity and the gastrovascular system are bustling. The cnidocytes on the gastric filaments are always ready to give an anesthetic injection to the prey that comes to the door. The thick mesoglea in the middle is mostly composed of proteins and lipids. This is the secret of why jellyfish look transparent. Moreover, it's like a sensitive storm detector that can help jellyfish sense an approaching storm in advance and quickly find a safe place to hide. The outermost epidermis is like a suit of armor, guarding the jellyfish and gathering many nerve cells and neurons, enabling the jellyfish to respond to external stimuli. With such a unique body structure, how do jellyfish live in the ocean? The life of jellyfish in the ocean is truly like that of a carefree dancer. Most of them drift along with the currents, looking leisurely and comfortable. But in fact, jellyfish are out-and-out carnivorous maniacs, spending their whole lives busy looking for food. They prey on zooplankton, small fish and shrimps, and sometimes even their own kind. When the prey foolishly approaches, the long tentacles of the jellyfish come into play. Once they receive mechanical stimulation or detect the chemical signals emitted by the prey, the tentacles immediately stretch like springs, and the nematocysts shoot out, entangling the prey tightly, then paralyzing and poisoning it, and finally swallowing the prey like eating noodles. The movement mode of jellyfish is also quite interesting. They contract their outer coverings, squeeze the inner cavity to change its volume, and then puff out water, relying on this reaction force to move forward, just like the water rocket we play with. Moreover, they are very good at taking advantage of winds, waves, and currents. Sometimes, to save energy, they simply hitch a ride on these free buses and wander around. If they want to do something, such as hunting or hiding from predators, they will adjust the state of their tentacles, being very flexible. After eating and swimming, how do they reproduce and pass on their genes? The reproduction story of jellyfish is really unique. They are dioecious, and the reproduction process has to go through 4 stages: planula, polyp, ephra, and juvenile jellyfish to develop into the common medusa we usually see, just like playing a game and passing levels. Most of the time, jellyfish reproduce sexually to have offspring, but at the polyp stage, they also engage in asexual reproduction, carrying out budding to produce many small individuals at once. The lifespan of jellyfish is quite short, mostly only a few weeks or months. However, amazingly, they can have 3 generations living together with grandparents, parents, and children floating around in the sea, which is also a peculiar sight in the ocean. The jellyfish family is so large that there must be a wide variety of species. Let's take a look. People classify jellyfish mainly based on the appearance of their umbrella-shaped bodies. Some jellyfish have an umbrella-shaped body like a regular umbrella, so they are called umbrella jellyfish. Some shine with silver light, and that's the silver jellyfish. There are also the Portuguese man-o'-war that looks like a monk's hat, the sail jellyfish that resembles the white sail of a boat, and the rosy jellyfish that is colorful and shines like rosy clouds. Just hearing their names, you can imagine what they look like. In taxonomy, Jellyfish can be classified into 5 orders. The cubozoa has a square umbrella part, and the umbrella margin is also quadrangular. This kind of jellyfish prefers the shallow seas in tropical and subtropical regions and is highly toxic. Be careful if you encounter them. The cornata has a constricted groove in the middle of the outer umbrella, dividing the umbrella into upper and lower parts. They like to swim into the deep sea. In addition to this, their ecological niche in the deep sea is also very unique. They have complex symbiotic or competitive relationships with some deep-sea shrimps and fishes. Scientists have found through the images captured by deep-sea probes that some small shrimps relying on the protection of cornata jellyfish gather around them, while at the same time, they compete with some deep-sea fishes that also feed on zooplankton for limited food resources. The storozoa is relatively lazy and lives a sessile life. Its body is like an inverted horn, a combination of polyp and medusa forms, and it often stays in relatively cold seawater. Their sessile habit makes them gradually adapt to the environment with gentle currents, low temperatures, and relatively stable food sources during the evolutionary process. They catch passing zooplankton by stretching out long tentacles, just like setting up mini predatory traps in the cold seawater. The semiostomy has an umbrella like a bowl or a butterfly, with several notches on the umbrella margin, and there are tentacle bulbs in the notches. Most of them wander around the coastal areas. When we go to the beach, we might encounter them. Their tentacle bulbs not only assist in hunting but also play a crucial role in sensing changes in water currents and temperature, helping jellyfish better adapt to the changeable coastal environment. The rhizostomy is a bit similar to the semiostomy, but there are no tentacles on the umbrella margin, and the oral arms grow together, and the mouth is sealed, forming many small suction mouths. In the coastal areas of the East China Sea and the South China Sea in China, the yield is quite large. Local fishermen can often harvest a large number of rhizostomy jellyfish during fishing operations. After processing, they become delicious dishes on the table. After talking about so many species, have you ever wondered why some jellyfish shine brightly in the dark? In the depths of the ocean, some jellyfish are like having built-in stage lights, shining with charming light. Why is that? It turns out that there is a kind of protein called aquarin in the jellyfish's body. When it encounters calcium ions, it reacts like a raging fire, bang, and emits a strong blue light. Different species of jellyfish have different colors and flashing patterns of light emission. Some emit blue light that blinks like twinkling stars. Some emit green light that slowly flickers, decorating the deep sea like a dreamy kingdom. The light emission of jellyfish is not only for beauty. Sometimes it is to scare away predators, and sometimes it is to attract prey, just like we use lights to trap moths. Do these shining jellyfish have any special friends in the ocean? Indeed, there are. The clownfish and the jellyfish are a wonderful symbiotic pair. The clownfish is very small, with a body length of no more than 7 centimeters. It can shuttle freely among the poisonous tentacles of the jellyfish as if walking in its own garden. Why isn't it afraid of the jellyfish's poison? Scientists haven't fully figured it out yet. Anyway, relying on this ability, the clownfish makes its home beside the jellyfish. If big fish outside dare to bully it, it will hide in the embrace of the jellyfish. The jellyfish is like a big bodyguard protecting it. Sometimes the clownfish is quite clever. It deliberately lures big fish into the attack range of the jellyfish. After the jellyfish deals with the big fish, it happily devours the leftovers. Conversely, the clownfish is not idle either. It will eat other tiny organisms inhabiting the jellyfish as snacks and clean the jellyfish by the way. These two get along with each other and cooperate very well. The relationship between jellyfish and their friends in the sea is so interesting. Then what kind of connections do they have with us humans? In the waters from Malaysia to Australia, the Chironex fleckeri and the box jellyfish are well-known tough guys. The venom they secrete is extremely toxic. If a person is accidentally stung by them, they will immediately have difficulty breathing, and in severe cases they can lose their lives within a few minutes. In the Weihai International Bathing Beach in China, jellyfish stings also occur from time to time in summer. However, generally speaking, if stung by a jellyfish, one will only feel a burning pain and the wound will be red and swollen, rarely endangering life. If you are unlucky enough to encounter this, don't panic. Quickly wash the wound with seawater or sand. Never use fresh water, otherwise the cnidocytes will be stimulated and the pain will be worse. You can also find some saturated alum solution or alkaline solution to apply. Don't expose the wound to the sun. If you feel the situation is not good, hurry to the hospital. Some jellyfish or jellyfish-like creatures will be left on the shore when the tide ebbs. They look soft, but don't touch them casually. They have slight toxicity, so be careful not to cause trouble. Although jellyfish sometimes cause us a little trouble, their position in the marine ecosystem is very important. They are an indispensable part of the food chain. Moreover, scientists' research on jellyfish is becoming more and more enthusiastic. Perhaps in the future, we can find new ideas for treating diseases from them or develop some high-tech products. Let's wait and see.